How to build strong connections with people. Do you have a problem connecting with people? Perhaps you're an introvert and do not have any idea of how to approach people. Or you may even be an extrovert who knows how to keep the conversation going and make others comfortable. But doing this does not guarantee that you will make good connections with people that will be long-lasting and genuine. Don't worry, we all have a problem like that. No matter how good you are at conversing or holding one's interest, or how funny you are, it does not guarantee that you will become close to the person you're trying to impress. Making long-lasting and genuine connections with people that are not using you is hard, especially in today's goal-oriented society that puts goals and aims at top of people's mind, and many people use others to get to their goals without being genuine to them. We all want to connect to people. It is our human nature. Humans crave attention and the spotlight, but humans also love being able to connect with someone and know what they're feeling. And wanting to establish such a pure and in-the-moment relationship with people is not that easy. Before knowing how to build authentic connections with people, let us understand what a genuine connection is. So without further ado, let us begin today's topic. What are genuine connections? A genuine connection is a real in-the-moment feeling of belongingness and care for one another and taking off fake personas to be authentic. The moment when someone is truly themselves and is not afraid of expressing themselves. Now think for 1 second. How many times have you felt that way when talking to people? How many times did you boldly tell you did not like something without the fear of being judged? The truth is, we don't feel this way often. We cannot build strong and genuine connections with people since we pretend to be someone who is far from what we are. People are afraid to freely express their thoughts because of today's society. Today's generation has grown up in an era where striving for perfection is considered everything. Being flawed, or in other words, human, is considered strange. We all wear a mask over our true selves. But no matter what we do, we cannot deviate from our instincts and cannot stop craving attention and human relationships with others. Being genuine is not as hard as it seems to be, and will make finding the right person easy. How to build personal connections with people. Now that we know how important it is for our soul to be in authentic relations with other people, let us know how can we establish such connections easily and naturally. For this, we might need help from the book of Dale Carnegie. The book How to Win Friends and Influence People has some great pieces of advice that can be helpful to a lot of people. It explains how to open up to real connections and many principles. The most important ones are: number 1, being genuinely interested in people. One of the most important things that will help you form good and long-lasting relations is being genuinely interested in them. Faking interest and forcing yourself to make conversations is not the way to make genuine connections. Not everyone is interested in you, and you don't have to be interested in everyone either. It is completely normal and human to not be genuinely interested in someone's conversation. Don't try to force conversations and move on. It is the best way to make real connections. Number 2, being a good listener. This point is quite common, and it is known by almost everyone, but only a few know how to use it properly. Being a good listener does not mean that you turn into an investigation officer and ask everything about the other person. This puts the entire weight of the conversation onto the other person, and that person might feel overwhelmed by carrying the conversation. Becoming a good listener means analyzing and finding out what the other person likes, and making them comfortable enough to talk about it. Keep the conversation smooth and real. If a person is not comfortable talking about a certain subject, leave it for a while. Or if you have any relevant experience, incorporate that into the conversation to show that you can understand what the other person feels like. Number 3, remembering a name. As ridiculous as it sounds, remembering someone's name is far more important than their birthday, according to Dale. Calling someone by their name seems to be important, and it will give a sense of closeness. As it is said by the author of this book, saying someone's name has quite an impact. He explains that a person is interested in his or her name more than any other name in the world. It is the reason why the majority of people would first write their name on a piece of paper for checking the ink in their pen. It is because our name is the most deeply ingrained in our brains. Now think for a second. How many times did you write your name when casually writing on playing with a pen? The correct answer would be many times. This proved the author's point. He further states that stating someone's name is equivalent to giving them a slight compliment. Number 4, respect and give importance to the other person. The last and most important point we will discuss from this book is giving respect and importance to others. The cliché quote that we all ignore, "Treat others the way you want to be treated," has way more importance in our lives. Giving someone respect and caring for their thoughts and opinions has a huge effect on people. This is the only prominent way to express that you want to build a strong and reliable connection with others. In return, they also begin to respect you and see you as someone who can be trusted and talked to. The theory of ethos, logos, and pathos. Our next approach is towards another book, Talk Like TED. This book is compiled over 500 tech talks and broken down their elements. The most popular theory about forming relations that are real to their core is the ethos, logos, pathos. No, these are not the names of quadratic equations. Rather, these terms define how we can build strong connections with people. Ethos refers to credibility in speaking. It defines that a person should be knowledgeable about something to lead a smooth conversation. Logos refers to making claims and theories that will expand your range of talking. Knowing a lot of subjects can help you connect with people of different interests and will remove barriers such as a lack of knowledge. Pathos refers to putting emotions behind what you're saying. If you're genuine about talking to someone about something, it will show through your way of talking and attitude and will help a lot in finding true connections. Mainstream media representation of building authentic relations. Mainstream media is the most powerful and influential means of representing any emotion or agenda than any other form. There are many shows, movies, television plays, musicals, period plays, and dramas that in-depth explain the importance of human emotions and how to build them. Many shows show how beautiful and meaningful genuine relations can be, and how excruciatingly painful fake relations can be. The number of shows that show love and friendship and how beautiful it can be. A great example of this is the show Friends. It shows the fun side of friendship and build genuine relations whether with a partner or friends. But there are not many shows that explain or show in detail how to naturally build strong relations with people. The only show we can think of is the current favorite, Spy X Family. It is an animated show and comic that takes dark themes and the reality of this society and spins it in a fun-to-watch way. The main plot. The main plot of the show revolves around 3 people who come together to form a fake family for their advances. The male lead is a secret spy. The female lead is an assassin, and the child is a telepath. All of them hide their true identity from one another. This is parallel to our current reality where we put on masks and hide our true identity, although our reality is not as exaggerated as shown in the show. The setup of the show makes it clear that these people will not bond with one another since they're too different and are together for their own sake. How bonding works. They easily bond with one another, even though they were completely different. It happened because of a simple psychological fact: being genuine and letting things flow naturally. They gave themselves and others the time to bond with one another and were genuine in their attempt. Even if they had any ulterior motives, it all washed up since they truly liked each other. This story in the show is a reflection of the principle of nature. The theory of nature. The phenomenon is that a person cannot force someone else to stay with him. As hard as we try, we cannot make someone else open up to us and tell us what he or she is personally feeling. We cannot force anyone to connect with us forcefully. No amount of effort and commitment can bring forth such results. Connections cannot be forced and they cannot be achieved through a one-sided struggle. It is because this universe works on the principle of free flow. It flows infinitely and cannot be stopped. If a connection is given the same treatment as nature expanding, then the chances of relations forming naturally will increase drastically. Letting relationships and bonds flow like the ocean, sometimes steady, sometimes harsh, will allow for a not-so-perfect yet natural connection. If a connection is meant to be, it cannot be stopped just like the waves in the ocean, letting time do the work. The story of the show led us to our last point, which is giving time to everything. Even if we try with all our might to make someone like us and try to bond with us, we still cannot guarantee how the other person would respond, because we cannot control anything in this universe, not even people. So the best option is to let go and let time do all the work. After pushing in all the effort, we should relax. And that is it for today's video. Be sure to like this video if you find it informational. Make sure to subscribe for more content like this, and we'll see you guys next time with a brand new video. Until then, bye.